Of course I sign in and there's an airplane going by. I'm sure everybody can hear it. It's David Gordon from TheaterMania. It is September 10th. I'm here with the great Scott Siegel and the just as great Elizabeth Stanley. We're talking about, Scott, I'm looking at it just so I don't get the title wrong, Volume 10 of the Great American Songbook concert series. It's entirely online. It's one of the rare concerts that are happening these days where the artists are getting paid, funded in part by donations from viewers. 10th one airs tonight at 7 p.m. And that's all the business. Thank you for playing today. Scott, can you tell me at first about the series itself, the creation of the series?
Well, it really came about because I was looking for a way to pay people. I was watching all this stuff on my Facebook feed and elsewhere where all the performers were, as they always do, being so generous and giving their talent away to benefit this and benefit that. And they were all out of work with no obvious time when they were going to be coming back to work. And I thought really the benefit should be for them, you know, and I was trying to come up with a way to sort of solve the problem in its own small way, my own small way. And I saw this thing on the news about somebody getting food from restaurants for free that people were paying for to give to frontline workers. And I just sort of adapted that idea because I consider all of these artists essential workers and they're on the front line of keeping us sane. And so I created this GoFundMe campaign and said, basically, if you donate to this money will go to performers to perform. And that was the genesis of it. So it was a win-win. The performers get paid. They know how much they're going to get paid. They know ahead of time they're going to get paid. It's not a tip jar kind of thing. I mean, they're getting a paycheck, as it were, and it's not a great deal of money, but it's the dignity of being paid for their work instead of giving it away all the time. And the people who give the money are the producers of the show. It's not being funded in part by them. It's being funded entirely by them.
Entirely.
And they are, and part of the appeal to them is I say, not only will you be doing this good deed and paying the performers, you'll be the producers of the show. We have more than 250 people who've donated, a great many of them multiple times in order to keep this going. And very recently we had a matching fund also, so that when people donate, it gets doubled. So the idea is to keep this going as long as we can to continue to pay people to perform. And
yeah.
Now we're on as you said, the 10th concert, and we pay everybody. If there's a remote piano player or a remote guitarist, we pay them. I have to pay the technical director because I'm not 14. I don't know how to do all this stuff. So I pay a technical director to put it all together, and then I get wonderful talent like Elizabeth. And in this concert coming up tonight at 7, in addition to Elizabeth, is Lisa Howard and Danny Gardner, the great dancer, and Jenny Lee Stern and Christine Lavin, the wonderful folk singer, and we just get this mix and match cast of wonderful people who do all sorts of wonderful things. So I sort of treat it like, I want the audience to treat it like the weather in the Midwest, that, if you don't like this, wait 5 minutes, it's going to change because it's different and it's fun.
Elizabeth, I'm sure you're one of the performers who's been asked to do recording after recording from your house since this whole thing started. What is it like to do a number, to record it from home? What are the difficulties of doing this sort of thing from home?
The difficulties, I think, are, you have to have good lighting, you have to have a good backdrop, you have to make sure all of your devices are charged, and I've gotten much better at my own editing and putting together and the sound and the video and all of that. It's also helpful if you have a quiet space, which is not always easy to come by. Like, it doesn't matter if you're in the city or in the country. I feel like in the city, you're like, oh, car horns and sirens and neighbors. And then in the country, you're like, everyone is doing yard work. Like, just when I sat down, just when I nailed this patter song, like someone started their weed eater, So some of that stuff, I think it's the technical things that as people on the other side, we're not used to dealing with the technical stuff, but it's been a good challenge, I guess.
It's certainly something that we've all never figured we'd have to do.
Right.
From you as a producer to Elizabeth as you as a performer. I can imagine that like singing into your webcam or your iPhone or whatever device you use is not the optimal way to put a song across.
Yeah, that's been like a really interesting thing to kind of figure out, like, where is the audience? I mean, some of it, I guess, I didn't feel completely in the dark about, because anytime I audition for something that's, on TV or it's going to be a movie, you're looking into the abyss, you're looking at no one to change your focus. Even like the reader is standing here and you're like, oh, but the other person in the scene is, I'm going to pretend they're over here. And so some of that's like camera techniques, I guess, that I already knew, but certainly not what I've been used to for singing.
Yeah. Scott, I want to talk about the audience for these shows, because I mean, you both have done this sort of thing at town hall, like places like town hall, which seat, I don't know what town hall seats, like 800, 900 people, Scott?
1,500.
Right. But and your audience for these shows online is either on par or more. So that must be extremely gratifying to know that you're bringing these things
to
New York.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that they range between 1,500 to 2,000 would be the average for these. A couple of them are slightly under 15, a couple of them are slightly over 2,000. But it's been gratifying. One of the things I should say is, in addition to the 250 plus audience producers, one of the other great things that they're doing is making it available, because I'm doing it, making it available for free to the rest of the world. So they're producing it for other people to see for nothing.
Yeah.
It goes out on social media. It's on Facebook. It's on Instagram. It's on YouTube. It's on Twitter. Or you can have it email. If you get on my email list, if you go to siegelpresents.com and join the mailing list, it'll get emailed to you. And if you're a donor, it goes out through the GoFundMe. There's a way to update, and I send the concerts to everybody directly who's donating, so they don't have to go looking for it. But it's not hard to find if you're looking.
Elizabeth, can you give us a preview of what you're performing in tonight's show?
Yes. Do you mean you just want me to tell you?
I'm not asking you to sing it. I can't afford to pay.
I'm singing Hold On from The Secret Garden, which is, I played Martha at my community theater when I was in high school. And so it's like kind of an oldie but a goodie for me. And it feels appropriate in this moment, I guess. There's so many songs that have been coming to mind, or I've been hearing them in a different way, and that's one of them.
What have you heard from audience members? Elizabeth, I don't know if you've gotten many letters about your performances in this series, as I'm sure Scott has, but what have you heard from audience members that have watched these shows? Like, what's the response like?
I mean, I think it seems like people are just excited for some type of Broadway content, because I think prior to the pandemic, there has not been a whole lot of it available digitally. So I'm hoping that that's something that, just keeps going, that we keep expanding, that we keep realizing, like, obviously live performance is irreplaceable and will come back. And I think people will be so thirsty for it. At least I hope so. But I think having things available in a digital way is also so amazing for all of the people who maybe don't have access to it for whatever reasons. So I've been feeling a lot of people just feels like they're very great. They're grateful that it exists.
Yeah. What about you, Scott? What have you heard, or what do you think?
Yeah, I will echo what Elizabeth is saying, that to a very large degree, people are just hungry for this connection. I mean, they miss these performers, they miss this world. Most of them will tell you when pushed a little bit, but we would much rather it was live. But failing that, and the world is failing that right now, that this is the next best thing for them to make that connection. And people are grateful. People send in the money saying things like, thank you for this. It's keeping me sane. You know, they really miss this kind of music, and they miss this kind of performer. And we started this. I mean, these shows have been almost every 2 weeks. Sometimes, for one reason or another, they're 3 weeks apart. So we started this very early on. I mean, we were way ahead of most other people when they were starting to, when Lincoln Center and what have you was starting to, put their programming on before Hamilton was on Disney Plus.
Right.
So we were among the first to say, hey, here are the people you love, and here are the songs you love. So I think we sort of got a foothold early with that.
So people can just go on YouTube and look for it.
They go to YouTube. Among the things, like I created my own YouTube channel. That was something I never would have thought I was even capable of. So now all those shows are on the YouTube channel under Scott Siegel's all the Great American Songbook series and concert series. And or if you go to SiegelPresents.com, they're all on my website. You just scroll down; they're all lined up, all 10 of them. Or you do a search on Facebook, and these will come up, either under my name or under the performers' names who are in them, or under the title. I mean, one or another, I think they can be found.
I hate for this to seem like a pledge break, but I don't hate for this to seem like a pledge break. It's a great cause, and people deserve to be paid. The link is on the screen. It's GoFundMe.com, and then Pay American Songbook Singers --matching fund. Donate as much money as you can. Elizabeth is worth it. All of these people are worth it. Scott is worth it. I hate to commodify it, but especially now when everybody could afford their bug slang around, when people are needing it the most. That's what I get for being outside for once.
Well, what I tell people, I say, some actors have donated money, and I say, don't do that. It's for you. It's not. Yeah. So if you have a job and you're working and you can afford it, great. If you have money salted away, great. But if you're in trouble, if you're on unemployment, don't do it. I mean, let the people who can afford it pay for it. You have this lovely couple who have Tom and Maren Hood, who have established this matching fund. So if you give $50, it becomes $100. And the money goes a long way right now. People are really grateful to get it. And if you can do it, great. But don't kill yourself to do it either. We don't want people to feel obligated in any way.
But regardless, you get to hear Elizabeth singing from the Secret Garden.
Yeah, so, you still get it. Money, you still get to hear. And you will love it. You will absolutely love it. It's a gorgeous rendition.
Thank you.
Thank you both for your time. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for giving us the platform.
Yes, thank you. It's really good to see your face.
It is my pleasure. It's lovely to see both of you too. It's been way too long since seeing all of you in person.
I know.
Be well, watch the show tonight, and donate to the link on your screen, and I'm going to leave it up there as long as I can. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Be well. Take care.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.